Hi, in this video I want to present the best mountains to climb in the Slovenian Alps. I'm using a text from my site, so there is a link below the video and you can follow and read more. And all these mountains are described in my separate texts in the site. Why this list? So I started actually my mountaineering life in the Slovenian Alps. The first mountain The first bigger mountain that I climbed was Triglav in 1986, and I have been climbing in that area uh, for decades. So all these mountains I have climbed myself, and I did it solo. Here is the list of the mountains which I want to present here, and they are ordered by difficulty from lighter to harder. I wouldn't argue with anybody about the order. It's just my view. So if you have climbed any of these and want to climb more and want to choose, then maybe this can help to know what to expect. So first in the list is Mangart. Mangart is actually at the Italian-Slovenian border, and the only reason why it is first, and it means the less demanding, is because of the presence of the Mangart saddle. So you can go by car over 2000 meters, and then what is left is just a simple walk in less than 3 hours. But actually, Mangar, if you would do it in some other ways, this is an area with many hard ferratas. The height is given here, 2,678 meters. Next on the list is Prisojnik. It's a beautiful mountain, and the reason why it is on this position in the list is that it is close to Vršić Pass, which is around 1700 meters, and then this is also what makes it relatively easy to climb. There is an attraction, Okno, which you can choose to go to the summit, but I can tell you that this is very crowded, and this is why in my first climb I actually did it following the ridge route and bypassing the Okno. So this is in the mountain close to the Vršić Pass, and then this means it is very crowded. So don't expect to be there to enjoy the summit in solitude. You will need around 5 hours from the Vršić Pass to the summit. So you see, although you start from the pass, you still have a lot to climb. Next on the list is Špik. This is an incredibly sharp mountain when you look it from Kranjska Gora side, and it just looks that you cannot do this. It's so sharp. But actually, there are two normal routes which you can choose, any of them. They converge actually here, and then you have only one route to the summit. And these are simple routes where you don't need any special equipment. So the mountain is surprisingly easy in spite of its shape. Next in the list is Razor. This is a mountain next to the Prisojnik, which I mentioned, and there are many routes to the summit. All of them are long, and some of them are really hard. The good thing is here that there is a hut, Pogashnikov Dom, very close to the summit, and this is what makes the climb easier. I would say you need 2 days. I didn't do this in one day, so I stayed in Pogashnikov Dom, And can you do this in one day? Probably yes, but I wouldn't advise you to do so. It would be too hard. The all the route that I passed from Zadnica Valley, you just walk up. Only directly below the summit there is a short ferrata. You don't need practically any equipment, but it's good to have a harness in that final part below the summit. Next is Škrlatica. This is the second highest mountain in the Slovenian Alps and the second highest in the former Yugoslavia. Some call it the queen of the Slovenian mountains, but it is, as I say here in the text, is a rather lonely queen because there are not many people here. So if you want to enjoy a mountain in solitude, this is the one. There are reasons why it's not so frequently climbed. First, because Triglav is so close and it is so attractive. And the second is that there are no huts close on the route. There is only one refuge which you can use to stay the night, but it is very basic, so you would have to carry your sleeping bag. There is no water, of course, you have to carry everything. But it is doable in one day. I stayed in the refuge, so this was a 2-day tour, but it can be done in one day. How I know? I have climbed Triglav in one day, so and it is higher. So next in the list is Triglav. I climbed it 2 times, and it was more than 30 years ago. So I don't have really nice pictures because I didn't have camera. I climbed it from the Urata Valley, and there are several attractive routes from that valley. So I passed them all because I would climb one route and then descend the other. So I know them all well. This is the highest mountain in the Slovenian Alps, and it is the king really. The view that you have here is from Razor, which I mentioned previously. The good side here is that there are many huts from every side, so you can do this as a 2-day tour. In my first climb, this was a 2-day tour because I stayed at Kadarica hut, which is here exactly. But in my second climb, I followed the Plemenice or Bamberg route, and it was 1-day climb, so more than 12 hours, very hard. Next in the list is Jalovec. This is simply incredible mountain. I would say the most attractive in the Slovenian Alps. And I would also say that there are no easy routes to this mountain. Access is long. The easiest way is to start from Vršić Pass because the start point is high. But even in this case, you have many hours through the woods, and then it's up to you if you want to go to the summit, or you can go to a hut which is Zavetište pod Špičkom and stay the night and then climb in the morning. I climbed it in one day, but it was my second attempt because in the first attempt I couldn't continue because of the rain and because of the snow that was there. So the mountain is doable in one day, but it's not easy. There are many ferrata sections, so you will need standard ferrata equipment. If you decide to go without staying in the hut, then you have to carry water and food. So this is it. Please follow the link below the video and let me know if you have questions. Thank you for watching.